What's up, guys? My name is Steve, and this is Tech Teardown. We're a brand new tech channel where we do tech reviews, PC building, and other types of tech and gaming content. If that's what you look for on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss one of our uploads. Now today, I have a very special video for you. This is our first build competition. I challenged Cameron from Definitely Tech to a build competition using only the Core 2 Quad Q6600. We both have to use this processor that came out in 2007. It has 2.40 gigahertz as its base clock and came out on the 65 nanometer process and uses the LGA 775 socket motherboards. Now, the build is going to be judged based off of price to performance as well as aesthetics. So we have to make this computer from the processor from 2007 look like a computer from 2019. And judging our competition, we have a celebrity guest judge. One of our favorite tech YouTubers of all time, Oz from OztalksHW, is going to be judging this competition. And he'll be judging us based off of the price to performance and aesthetics. And you guys will be able to vote on who you thought had the best looking computer. So make sure you go over to OztalksHW and definitely Cameron's channels and subscribe so that way you can watch their videos on this build competition and put your vote in to show your support. All right, so now I'm going to go over all the parts that I went with. In this competition, we had to use a graphics card from 2016, and I pushed the limits and went with a graphics card from 2015, and this is the Sapphire Nitro Plus R9 Fury. This has 4 gigabytes of high bandwidth memory, and I think this is going to really destroy in all the games that we're doing. Have to worry about the bottlenecks from the CPU though. And then I also have 4 sticks of DDR2. They are 2 gigabytes each, and they're Kingston HyperX. As well, the power supply I went with is an EVGA 850 watt modular power supply I got off of EVGA's midweek madness sale. It was a great deal, 80 plus gold. And then I went with a blue theme here. So I have a Corsair ML120 blue LED fan, 2 Thermaltake Ring 12 blue LED fans, as well as this really old liquid neon light. It has a couple different lighting features on here. I think it's going to make it look really nice and cool. As long as I can cable manage this is going to be a little bit difficult on that. And the CPU cooler is this Fantex cooler here. I think this is going to do a really good job in cooling that Core 2 Quad Q6600. And to wrap it up and make this all look real nice, I have this Fantex Eclipse P600S case that just came out this year. It's a very expensive case at $160. Using these parts, I do not recommend pairing these parts with this really premium case. The reason I got it was not only just to get the best looking case I could, but I will be repurposing this case for my personal computer, throwing everything from this Lian Li 011 into the Fantex case. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get building, and then I'll come back after all the benchmarks have run and we'll wrap everything up and see what we thought of this Core 2 Quad here in 2019. So stick around. Alright guys, so I am done. This build, it offered lots of challenges, but it also, it was a lot of fun. I can't thank definitely Tech enough for agreeing to this challenge, as well as OztalksHW for agreeing to judge the competition. So let's go over the build process and getting all my results. So building was easy, simple, and just like any other real modern day PC. Without any modifications, I couldn't get any the USBs on the front to work with this motherboard. There were no USB 3 connectors back then. So all we have now is just the power switch and the reset switch. Now, I absolutely loved building in this case. I think I'm going to do a review of this Fantex case in the future because it was so much fun. And I think I took a huge risk getting this case because it was obviously so expensive. I think this could kill me because this case was more than my graphics card, and that could make or break me in this competition. So it's going to be really interesting to see what we got here. So I got my Core 2 Quad Q6600 to 3.55 gigahertz, and that was not without lots of trial and error. I just could not get a stable overclock, and the biggest issue was with the memory. I had 8 gigabytes of Kingston HyperX DDR2. All 4 sticks were the same model and are rated for 1,066 megahertz. But anytime I tried to overclock it on the front side bus, it would not stay stable over 800 megahertz. It was the memory that was really killing it. I had to stay on the D strand on the multiplier in order for it to stay stable at all. But no matter what, going over 800 megahertz on the RAM would make all my overclocks unstable and would revert back to stock. So it was not easy to get to the 3.55 gigahertz, but I did it. I couldn't go any further than that because once the multiplier went over the 800 megahertz, it was done. So messed with all the voltages of the memory, the CPU voltage, could not get it over 800 megahertz on the RAM, but 3.55 gigahertz on the CPU did get me to a 333 CB score on Cinebench R15. I'm very happy with that score, and it also brought my score on Firestrike up over 9,000. So that was awesome. The results in all the games, very pleased with. I would say the Division 2 was definitely the most unplayable at around 40 FPS, a little bit over that. The frame times were absolutely atrocious, so I would say an Xbox would have definitely outperformed it in frame times at least. And then moving on to Fortnite, very playable. I was seeing over 100 FPS quite a bit. It wasn't my average, but at some high intensity moments, I did get over 100 FPS. And me and Cameron both said that we were going to be landing at Salty Springs, so that's where I went. And had a lot of fun playing Fortnite again. And then moving on to CSGO, we both played the Overpass map, and we had it on on high settings with anti-aliasing off, and I saw amazing FPS playable performance with that. And then Battlefield 4, same thing. Battlefield 4 did have some issues with the frame time, so it was a little bit stuttery, but had consistent and a good average frame rate overall. So yes, you can play modern games on this Core 2 Quad, but I don't recommend it. And obviously I do not recommend building a computer like this in such a premium case. This is obviously just for fun, so don't take this as a recommendation for building a computer. But for those of you who have no interest in Apex Legends, probably the Division 2, I would say, or any other CPU intensive games like Assassin's Creed, or a lot of any of the Ubisoft games are pretty CPU intensive. If you have any interest in those games, stay away from the Core 2 Quad. Apex Legends, it's not even playable because the CPU doesn't have the right instructions in order to run Apex Legends. And then just the frame times and in all of the CPU intensive games like the Division 2 just did not make the Core 2 Quad worth buying, even at $10 for the processor. I did see a lot of bottlenecking of my graphics card, which I absolutely expected. One of the reasons I went with the R9 Fury, I was expecting RX 570, RX 580 performance with that card, which I did get. It was an excellent performer in a lot of the GPU games like Battlefield. And I also went with it because of the visual stylings of that graphics card. Very, very good looking card. I love that I went with the vertical mount on it. And that's one of the reasons why I went with this case, is because of the vertical mount. Because that's what I thought that would really push me ahead in the looks of 2019. Because I don't think anyone was vertically mounting their graphics card back in 2007 when the Core 2 Quad came out. So really impressed overall with the looks. I didn't go for RGB at all. I went with blue LEDs, blue LED fans here, and this liquid neon, which I'm really impressed with the way it's looking right now. So I think that's pretty cool. The Fantex cooler ran excellent through Firestrike. Cinebench, I was seeing around 46 degrees Celsius at that 3.55 gigahertz, which is all the more disappointing that I couldn't get it any higher than that, because I think I could have got this to 4 gigahertz had I got the RAM to run stable. I might in a future video return to this and try to get that over 4 gigahertz, maybe get in some special guests over here to give us a hand, maybe buy some new RAM, see if we just had some bad RAM. I think that'll be fun to try and get this Core 2 Quad over 4 gigahertz. But yeah, I think this was a fun competition. It was fun to try and go back into the blue BIOS and get this Core 2 Quad overclocked. It was fun building in the Fantex case, fun collaborating with Oz and Cameron from Definitely Tech. Make sure you subscribe to their channels, and if you're not subscribed to mine, really appreciate it if you would do that as well. And I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Remember, subscribe to Oz, subscribe to Definitely Tech, check out Definitely Tech's build, see how his compares to mine. I'm really worried about price to performance right now. I think this case really killed me. So it'd be really interesting to see what he did. And then Oz should be posting his results soon on who won this competition. So definitely check out his channel, look out for that video. And once again, thanks to him for really dedicating his time to doing this, judging this competition for us. I'm really excited for that. And look out for the poll, so you can vote on who you thought had the best build. Let me know if you've ever worked with the Core 2 Quad. What was your best overclock? What do you think of using the Core 2 Quad today in 2019? Anything you want, just let me know down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I'm always responding no matter what. So love to hear from you guys. Make sure you comment down what you thought. If you made it this far, thank you so much. And I think that's going to wrap up this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. It really helps us out with the algorithm. If you want to see more from us, please hit that subscribe button and the bell. And we'll see you guys in the next video. And you know you won't leave me, but you know I'll let you go. 'Cause I beg, I plead for your sympathy.